this is the most convenient here from security point of view. We are not suffering from terror. After we have successfully defeated the terror in the center of Israel, in Tel Aviv, after long years of being attacked, the achievement is based on our unique capabilities. We have developed unique intelligence capabilities combined with the operational capabilities of the IDF. State of art of security in the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. I would like to thank Jordan. They are not doing anything for us. Anything they are doing is for themselves, for their own interest. The Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan is a state of art of security, and they are protecting very complicated borders. The outcome from Israeli point of view is dramatic contribution to our security. It's very difficult for terrorists to cross or to enter Jordan. Again, not for us. They are doing it for themselves. But we are, let's say, enjoying it, if you can say. There is security cooperation between us. It's not cooperation, but it's like more coordination between us and the Palestinian Authority. It is less significant than our capabilities or the capabilities of Jordan, but it's quite significant. It's based on the interest of the Palestinians to defeat Palestinian Authority, to defeat their enemies, the Hamas or other extremists. Hamas, these are the examples. They are talking about, in the Middle East, about reconciliation. From my point of view, it's very difficult to imagine reconciliation between Hamas that want to take over, not PLO. They are holding the golden shares of the Palestinian nationalism. PA is a product of our agreements between PLO and Israel. And the moment they are taking over the PA and the PLO together, it will give them the opportunity to continue. And Hamas today are, and I'll talk about it when I come to bad news, they are part of the Muslim Brothers that deserve to be discussed here. But for the time being, the PA Authority, at least from security point of view, I'm not talking about politics, unless you ask me some embarrassing questions or other questions, or challenging questions. But from security point of view, it's quite important. There is some decline in the quality of the security performance of the PA for some reasons. But the main pillars, as I've mentioned, and the outcome is very impressive. And mind you that in Passover is one of the most sensitive periods of time. One is very important, is very known, Park Hotel massacre that could end with 100 deaths. And the other one is less known, is a lorry with 100 kilos 3 years ago that entered Tel Aviv, and it didn't work, this lorry, with 100 kilo of explosives, and it got back to Kalkilia. And after long years, they have been arrested. That's the good news. Another good news is we do have deterrence, I think, vis-a-vis threats around us. The North is flourishing, prospering, and you will see it in the vacation in Passover. Even the Golan Heights is very stable and quiet area. It's a matter of deterrence. In the south, we are enjoying partial deterrence, and when it erupts with the good services of Egypt, that they are functioning excellently. Again, what Egypt is doing is for their own interest. They are successfully convincing the Hamas, Islamic Jihad, the Lijan, it's a small organization that's financed and supported by Iran, to keep the quietness, based on the image that it's not said directly, but it's clear to everybody that the moment they continue to attack us, maybe they would suffer from Israeli operations. There are some hidden laws of the game here. About the peace between us and our neighbors is very important. And because of this peace, both the Arabs and Israelis are not suffering from wars or hostile coalitions. With Jordan, I've mentioned it, the leader of any peace option is Egypt. I cannot imagine the Middle East without Egypt's leadership. I'll talk about the changes in Egypt that may happen, but for the time being, valid for Passover. This peace is very important from security point of view mainly. And again, maybe it's not recognized by everybody. For my long service in the intelligence and the security establishment, I cannot imagine any peace reality without Egypt as a leader of this perception, or the leader of the peace. Even cold peace or Middle East peace, never mind. Any peace is better than any war. And this peace is very important. It's a pillar also in national security. National security is not only military power or army. In our country, the best option is to use the army only if you don't have other option. And this peace was achieved based on bloody wars. I'm going to history. And again, Jordan is very important because Jordan, as I've mentioned, state of art of combating terror. And when they used to be in wars with us, it's better to have peace with them. And with Egypt, as a leader of this peace camp, it's better also to be in excellent relations. And I pray that it will continue forever. About even the Arab world, the Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, there is no official peace, but they are considering Iran as the worst enemy for themselves. This is an existential threat to their regime. I reflect their mind about Iran, not ours. And if you ask them frankly, not for publishing, who is the worst enemy for you? Saudi Arabia, UAE, even Qatar, if they are sincere enough, they will answer you. The answer will be always Iran under the Ayatollahs. Now, about our economy you are aware of, but it relates to security. And here I would like to get to some concerns. Concerns and bad news. The main bad news is nuclear Iran. I am not sharing with you anything new, but I would like to share with you why Iran is so terrible threat. I know that you are publishing it every 2 minutes. By the way, there is a great intelligence achievement. We have identified the threat of nuclear Iran mid-90s. I remember I was responsible for the National Intelligence Assessment, and Iran didn't have even one missile that could reach Israel. And it was Netanyahu, the prime minister, and he was younger than today, and he listened to this assessment. It was very surprising, and he was very much convinced about the terrible threat. I would like to analyze exactly what does it mean, the Iranian threat. Unlike the past, when we have mentioned firstly this Iranian threat, they are dependent about the issue of developing nuclear weapon only on their decision, not on their capabilities. This is the main difference. They do have 5.5 tons of LEU. They are dealing with 20%. They do have hundreds of Shahab 3s. This is a missile of 1,500. They do have missiles of 2,200. They do have dreams, if I use this phrase, about 10,000, because one of their ambitions is to become regional superpower. There is no change in their aspirations. And they do have the know-how to assemble nuclear warhead on missile if they want to do it. Now it depends on their decision. They are not crossing the Rubicon, if I use this phrase. Namely, they are not deciding who are they. Khamenei, he is the leader. Not Ahmadinejad, not others. He is the leader that he is relying on brutal force of revolutionary guards, what is called brutal state within state and besiege. Violent, brutal forces, very violent. He is determined to develop the option to decide whenever he finds it appropriate to develop the nuclear weapon, but he is not crossing the Rubicon because he is shocked by the magnitude of exposure of these secret projects. I'll give you one example. The President of the United States, it was in September 2 years ago, he exposed in the United Nations the existence of the secret, top secret project of COM. He exposed it publicly, very accurately. You could feel that they were shocked. How comes that the most secret, top secret projects are exposed? But we need to be humble. They are not stupid, and in intelligence, at least, whenever you are smug based on your success, this is a moment of deterioration. Be on alert all the time and consider your enemy as smarter than you. This is the best way to be on the successful side. But I think that there are some results of this intelligence success. For example, long time the world hasn't recognized the nature of this threat. Iran is a threat, and today after Iraq, there is no way that important intelligence services adopting assessments based on foreign assessments. If Israel tells them something, they will ignore it, unless they come to the same conclusion based on their capabilities. The President of the United States keeps saying publicly, there is no way the United States, from American interest, will accept nuclear Iran. He means nuclear missile, weapon. He talks about weapon. We are talking for a long time about capabilities. Capabilities to develop it and not to feel immune from reaction, Israeli or other. The moment they feel immune, they won't care about the world and they will cross the Rubicon. The main reason they are not crossing the Rubicon is some kind of deterrence, but they are determined to be able to decide whenever they like, tomorrow, after tomorrow, or yesterday. I can share with you, I see significant sanctions, but everything depends on the result. Whenever they take the decision to pull back the project. By the way, I don't think even the pull back or withdraw from the project, the know-how stays there. That's why it's so important. But in 2003, based on the image that there was existential threat to them, they have frozen the project. I cannot imagine Iranian spring. There is no spring in the Middle East anyway, but there is no spring even in Iran. The good news, they don't have it yet. The bad news, the real bad news, there's the main threat. But let's analyze what will happen if they get it. Look around us. Lebanon. There are states with constitution. United States. States without constitution. UK, Israel. There is new phenomena in political science. Constitution without state. This is Lebanon. Lebanon is fantastic. It's marvelous. You have Président de la République. In French it sounds better. You have Prime Minister. You have Hezbollah in the government while murdering the Prime Minister Hariri. This is a very efficient way to dissolve disputes. The Hezbollah are partners in the coalition government, and the names of the murderers are known to everybody. The most important from our point of view, they have taken over half of Lebanon. We call it Hezbollastan. Hezbollastan is much more powerful militarily or even politically than Lebanon itself. They don't have constitution, by the way. Maybe the Iranian constitution. They are financed, supported heavily, massively by Iran and Syria. For example, they do have at least 45,000 rockets from all ranges, comparing with 14,000 in 2006 and 800 in 96. Okay, 96 there were 800, approximately 1,000 altogether. Today 45, and they do have other missiles and rockets and surprises, like Nasrallah calls it. And I cannot share with you everything, I'm not sure it's so important. They are dealing with terror all over the world with the Iranians, and the base is what is known Lebanon. And can you imagine the Middle East with nuclear Iran, with Hezbollah and Hamastan, their Sunnis are built the same way. They do have rockets, not like Hezbollah, that are threatening Israel, including center of Israel, plus Islamic Jihad. This is a PIG, this is a small organization that financed uniquely by Iran, and this is like Iranian extension. Now this are the same models. Can you imagine, for example, if they attack us, or maybe we retaliate, they will wave with the nuclear. That's from Israeli point of view. I cannot imagine the Arabs, as I know them. I'm spending most of my life with our neighbors and friends, and I appreciate them very much. I cannot imagine Saudi Arabia or Egypt or I don't know who. Can you imagine the Arabs tolerating nuclear Iran? It will destroy the whole Middle East, the whole stability. It will threaten the best interests of the world. That's why, again, I repeat it. If you ask any Arab leader, who is the worst threat to you? Iran, not Israel even. Not publicly. Publicly you can hear all kinds of answers. I mean, like between us and you, or between me and you. Between us. This is a very important issue. If I speak about Saudi Arabia or UAE or about them, we don't have official relations with them, but it's a common knowledge that they are looking at Iran as the worst threat. Other issues, what will happen to the oil? Supply of oil under nuclear Iran. I mean, in this area you don't need more than 2, 3, 4, 5 bombs. It's enough. It's not like Soviet Union, United States, late Soviet Union, they could destroy each other 2,000 times. You can be happy with 5. That's why this is a main threat. Can you imagine, for example, Bashar Assad with nuclear weapon? And it does not look to me so humanitarian. With nuclear weapon, this is nightmare. It's very encouraging that the whole world is united behind the consensus. I mean, the whole world. Even the Russians that do have some doubts publicly, I think, they understand the meaning of nuclear threat. In Egypt, there are dramatic changes. I'm not hiding from you that we are concerned. Again and again, there is no alternative to peace relations between us and Egypt. And the leaders of the Muslim Brothers keep declaring, we are committed to this peace. I'm not sure. Their ideology is different. Their ideology is not top secret what I'm sharing with you. You can read it every minute, and and they are sincere enough not to hide it. Their dream, they do have a dream to establish Islamic empire at the expense of Egypt, Jordan, Abu Mazen. Israel is excluded anyway. This is a Waqf, Holy Land. Syria even Bashar does not look to them positive. He is not included in their plans. So for the time being, they need support. They need to complete the process. If, for example, Mr. Shatter will be president or somebody from the Muslim Brothers, and the parliament in Cairo has repeatedly declared that against the relations with Israel and so on. All these developments, we need to be very careful, to look at them very carefully, because they can declare they are committed to peace, but they can find excuses to undermine it. We are also concerned about Sinai. We are fully relying on Egyptian government, Egyptian army, that we do have full trust in their capabilities to take over Sinai and to defeat all kinds of threat, smuggling and so on. Because we are fully respecting the sovereignty of Egypt. And what we are doing to preempt acts of terror, like the terrible act of terror that happened in last year, that we are relying on our unique intelligence and identifying the terrorists before the small organizations that is called the committees. This organization is small. What I would like to share with you, what does it mean, this organization? They are financed by Iran. They want to kill, to murder as many as Israelis they can. They could successfully do it by chance. It didn't happen the last year. And they want to complicate our relations with Egypt. This is the main goal. Because if we enter Sinai, that is impossible. Egyptian government very sensitive, of course. But if we suffer from terrible terror, it complicates our relations. So that's why we are, if we can, we are choosing the preemptive option and killing them before they come to us. But the problem is, you need to rely all the time on accurate and excellent intelligence. The problem is intelligence, there is no insurance for quality of intelligence. You can be successful one year and lose it the next year. This is a risky game, risky job. There is no insurance to it. And the more success you have, you feel smug and happy. The more you feel happy, it paves the way for failure. About Syria, of course, we are denouncing the slaughter of the people. Nobody needs me to say it. To retire is not including, retirement is not including in the plans of Assad as we can judge him. Because for him it's to be or not to be. And he's Alawite. And he's slaughtering the other side of the threat, let's say. So that's why it's very important to understand the way he looks at what we are facing now. And he will continue, and unless he will defeat them, or he thinks, I don't know what he thinks, but the way I can imagine, it's not so complicated, he will be defeated. That's why it's to be or not to be for him. But for Israel, the Golan Heights is very quiet and stable. They are concentrating on their problems. And there is problem about the challenge, about the strategic weapons that exist in Syria. For the time being, it's quite secured. Our security relations with the United States are excellent. And very valuable, very qualitative, very important, psychologically, militarily, strategically. It's not new, but I would like to mention it. About Turkey, there is a challenge. Turkey used to be, this is Middle East, it's very frightening, I must say. Turkey and Iran used to be our best friends. We are subject to changes, and some of them can be assessed and some of them cannot be assessed. We hope, we are doing our best to soften and to ease the tension between us and Turkey. There is some change, positive change, but basically this is a quite challenge to digest and to understand the changes in Turkey. And again, we don't like the way the Turks are from time to time cooperating with Iran, but I think the Iranians and the Turks, first of all, they do have tradition of rivalry for 1,000 years. Everything in this Middle East is between 1,000 years, 5,000 years. I cannot believe that the Turks, even based on the current experience, believe that there is a room for friendship between them and Iran, and if Iran gets the nuclear, I'm sure, to be very gentle, they will be very upset. There is a paradox here. We are living in one of the most convenient periods of time from security point of view. Suicide attacks behind us. Deterrence vis-a-vis rocket attacks, we are enjoying our deterrence. Nuclear is a challenge. Syria does not have it, Libya does not have it. Iran is determined to have it. But I cannot imagine such unprecedented challenges for our national security, not only for Israel, but I'm talking as Israeli now, from Israeli point of view, in many fronts or in many places altogether. We used to focus on Hezbollah, Hamas. But from national security point of view, if you look at the map, what I have, the global map, we are dealing with changes in the Middle East. What does it mean? The importance of continuation of the peace, ballistic threats that need technological solutions, operational solutions. What does it, how it look like if we be attacked by rockets or missiles? What does it mean? What does it mean for us? But we need to face dramatic challenges, and we need to be prepared for all kinds of developments that may happen. For the time being, our army is very powerful, I think. We need to understand all potential changes. The immediate threat are the rockets. Strategic challenge is nuclear, Iran or Middle East. Very important to keep our peace, maybe the first priority. We will do our best to keep it.